Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, USA Rare Earth just filed its current report for May 13th, 2026, and I'm seeing something interesting about their financial health. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. This report gives us a peek at their latest financial performance, and it's an important piece of the puzzle as we look at the company's direction. So what is the big news? Well, USA Rare Earth Incorporated, or USAR, put out their earnings press release on May 13th, 2026. This report covers their financial results for the first quarter that ended on the 31st of March, 2026. It is essentially a snapshot of how the company is doing financially at the start of the year. Now, while this is a quick update, it's important to remember that this information is being shared for our awareness, and it is not considered formally filed in a way that makes the company liable for any inaccuracies under certain sections of the stock market rules. Think of it as an important heads up rather than a finalized financial statement that carries strict legal weight in that specific context. However, it is still a very valuable insight into their recent performance. We are looking at a company that operates in the basic materials sector, specifically in other industrial metals and mining. They have a market capitalization of about $5.5 billion and employ around 132 people. This is a small but significant player in its niche. This filing is primarily driven by the release of an earnings press statement. We have Exhibit 99.1, which is that press release detailing their financial results for the first quarter of 2026. This is the core of what we are dissecting today. Just a quick reminder about their stock, USA Rare Earth. Incorporated's common stock trades on the Nasdaq stock market under the ticker symbol USAR. This is the primary way people invest in the company, and understanding these earnings reports helps investors gauge the company's value and future prospects. The company is checking the box as an emerging growth company. This means they are still relatively new and are afforded certain regulatory flexibility. They have not elected to use the extended transition period for new or revised financial accounting standards, which indicates they are aiming to keep up with the latest accounting rules. So, the main point of this filing is to communicate the company's financial performance for the first 3 months of 2026. What we are looking for is how their revenue, costs, and profits or losses stacked up. This sets the tone for the rest of the year. As for the exhibits, the crucial one here is 99.1, the press release itself. There is also Exhibit 104, which is an interactive data file used for electronic filing purposes. Nothing too exciting on the exhibit front beyond the press release. Let's now dive into the actual numbers from the earnings press release, which provides the substance of this filing. Remember, this is for the first quarter ending the 31st of March, 2026. Looking at the data, we see that USA Rare Earth Incorporated reported an adjusted loss per S-share of $0.12. This means for every share of stock out there, the company lost 12 cents after certain adjustments were made. This is a key metric for investors to understand profitability on a per-share basis. It is also interesting to note that this was slightly better than what analysts expected, as the FactSet estimate was for a loss of $0.13 per S-share. So they beat expectations on this front, even though it was still a loss. Now, let's consider the broader context. External news reports around the same time show some interesting market reactions and analyst sentiment. For instance, on May 14th, 2026, there were headlines indicating that USA Rare Earth Incorporated's stock price target was raised by some analysts, suggesting a potential upside of about 47%. This implies that despite the reported loss, some financial professionals see significant growth potential ahead for the company. However, other headlines on the same day noted that USA Rare Earth Incorporated shares were down about 2.3%. This mixed reaction shows that while some analysts are optimistic, the market itself had a more cautious response, possibly due to the ongoing losses or other unstated factors. Seeking Alpha also had a piece suggesting that things are coming together for the company, maintaining a buy rating which aligns with the optimistic price target hikes. Cantor Fitzgerald also raised their price target, highlighting the company's execution. Institutional investors are also paying close attention. Major holders like BlackRock, Incorporated Vanguard Capital Management LLC, and State Street Corporation have significant stakes in USA Rare Earth. Incorporated, this level of institutional ownership often means that these large players believe in the company's long-term strategy. Their holdings, measured in millions of shares, indicate a substantial investment and therefore a keen interest in the company's financial health and future performance. From a strategic perspective, USA Rare Earth Incorporated is in the business of rare earth elements, which are critical for many advanced technologies, including electric vehicles, renewable energy, and defense systems. The demand for these materials is generally expected to grow, So, while the company might be experiencing short-term financial challenges like losses, its position in a strategically important industry could be a significant long-term advantage. However, it is important to anchor these numbers and analyses. When we see companies reporting losses, even if they beat a lowered expectation, it's a sign of the challenges they face in turning a profit. Think about companies like Bed Bath & Beyond or Rite Aid, which face prolonged periods of financial struggle before ultimately facing significant difficulties. While USA Rare Earth Incorporated is not at that stage, consistent losses can erode investor confidence and strain resources over time. The key question is whether the company can achieve profitability as demand for its products grows, a challenge many in the mining sector grapple with. Ultimately, USA Rare Earth Incorporated is navigating a complex market. The positive analyst sentiment and price target increases suggest confidence in their future strategy and execution. The fact that they are reporting losses means they are still in a growth or turnaround phase. The real test will be their ability to translate increasing demand for rare earth elements into sustainable profits. For now, it is a story of potential versus present performance. If you found this breakdown helpful in understanding USA Rare Earth Incorporated's latest financial update, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more. And remember, all the research tools and data that I use to create these analyses are linked in the description below. They are a great way to support the channel. That is my take. Stay decoded, like, comment, subscribe, and join our Discord community.